day, everyone. So for this video, we will be discussing about the court component or pillar of the Philippine criminal justice system. Let's begin. First, of course, let us discuss about the roles of the court. The court is the one that settles actual controversies involving rights which are legally demandable and enforceable. This first role, ang ibig pong sabihin nito is, si court po ang may kapangyarihan para magsumagot sa mga karapatan na nagkakaroon ng kaguluhan or ng hindi pagkakaintindihan. So si court po ang may kapangyarihan na magbigay ng kalinawan dyan at magbigay ng paliwanag kung paano natin talagang i-interpret ang isang certain right. Number 2, to determine whether there has been grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. As you know, the court ay napapaloob sa sangay ng hudikatura ng gobyerno natin or the branch of judiciary. Okay. And eto pong branch na to, lalo na ang court, tinitingnan po niyan kung nagkakaroon ba ng pag-abuso dun sa ibang branch or sa ibang court mismo na kasama dito sa mismong branch niya. Okay, halimbawa ibang levels ng court. Tinitingnan po doon kung umabuso ba sila ng kapangyarihan or discretion when it comes to cases, kung nagdesisyon ba sila sa mga kaso na wala sa kanilang jurisdiction. Okay? So, fair warning po sa mga hindi po makakaintindi ng some words, I suggest you finish this video kasi magkakaroon din naman ng definition dun sa mga ibang words sa ibang part ng video, and then go back to the certain words or sentence na hindi mo naintindihan to further understand kung ano ba talaga ang ibig sabihin na itong mga word na to. Okay, moving on. Number 3, to render authoritative judgment. Okay, so alam naman natin napakaraming tao ang judgmental pero hindi sila authoritative. Kailan natin sasabihing authoritative? Pagka sinabi pong authoritative, meron pong authority or merong legal power, kapangyarihan na binigay ng konstitusyon at ng batas para makapagbigay ng patas na judgment. So si court din po ang merong ganong power. Number 4, it is the final arbiter for justice. Okay, so among the Philippine criminal justice system, doon sa mga components po nito, the law enforcement, prosecution, court, correction, and community, si court po actually is the final arbiter for justice. Ibig sabihin, ito po ang ating last resort or last stage sa pagkamit ng hustisya o sa pagbibigay ng hustisya. Bakit? Kasi meron pa po tayong mga barangay courts, ayan yung andyan yung process ni prosecutor, no? Meron pa po tayong mga tinatawag na mediation and conciliation, which are first option when it comes to settling disputes or conflicts. Pero ang final dito, para lalo na kung ang inaati mo is talagang hustisya, is the court. Number 5, it is the front line of democracy, freedom, and human dignity. Sabi ko nga po, ang court is napapaloob sa sangay ng hudikatura. At bilang demokrasya ang ating bansa, our government is divided into 3 main branches. The judiciary branch, the legislative, and the executive. So para po ma-maintain ang democracy, no, the judiciary branch has its own power to interpret laws, to put it simply. Ngayon, among those interpretation of laws is guarding that our democracy will prevail in any kind of issues or conflicts na mag-a-arise. No? Number 6, the only institution capable of identifying and maintaining proper balance between the conflicting rights of the individual and those of the state and society. Okay. Bigay na lang ako ng example dito para kay number 6. So, isa sa mga karapatan natin, we have the right to freedom of speech. So, may karapatan tayong sabihin kung ano ang nais nating sabihin. However, paano kapag makaka-insulto na tayo ng ibang tao? Paano kapag Sinasabi natin, pwede na tayong makaapak sa dignidad ng isang tao. Kailan nagtatapos yung ating freedom of speech? Si court po ang nagbibigay nagbigay na rin ng mga limitations when it comes to this, no? Balanced po dapat. Meron tayong rights, napapractice natin ang ating rights, but at the same time, nagiging responsible tayo enough para hindi naman natin maapakan yung rights ng ibang tao or ng state itself. Yun naman po kay number 6. Number 7, it is to the court that everyone turns to for justice. Kaya honestly, pag narinig natin yung Philippine Criminal Justice System, ang unang-unang pumapasok sa utak natin is court, hindi naman po prosecution, correction, law enforcement, hindi. Ang unang papasok, court. Pag sinabing hustisya, ang naisip agad, court. Okay? Because it is to the court that everyone turns to for justice. Doon umaasa ang lahat, ang karamihan sa korte pagdating sa hustisya. Number 8, it is twisted as a shield of innocence in the impartial guardian of every private civil rights. Okay, so ayun nga po, court din po ang nagtatanggol sa innocence ng mga victim at sa impartiality, ibig sabihin sa pagiging patas, okay, pagiging equal. Number 9, it is in the court that our citizen primarily feel the keen cutting edge of the law. Okay. So when it all comes down pagdating sa pag-solve o pagre-resolve ng mga issue or ng kaso, ang taong bayan po ay talagang nagbabantay lang sa gagawin ng court. Okay. Dito lang po tayo nag-aabang kasi dito naniniwala tayo na this is the most proper way of battling justice. Yon. Ito po yung mga ilan sa roles of purpose and roles of the court. Roles. Next, organization of courts. So the following are the organization of courts. Number 1, regular courts. These are the judicial tribunals authorized to engage in the general administration of justice, deriving their powers directly from the Constitution and statutes. They have general jurisdiction over criminal and civil cases. At meron naman po tayong special courts. Special courts are judicial tribunals with limited specialized jurisdiction created by law to hear and decide specific types of cases or controversies. Okay, isa-isa naman natin itong mga to. Ito si regular courts, meron pa yung mga nakapaloob sa kanya, and then si special courts. So meron din naman kay quasi-judicial. Tuloy tayo. Quasi-judicial agencies are administrative bodies other than the regular courts vested with the authority to resolve controversies, investigate facts, hold hearings, and make decisions similar to those of a court of law, specifically regarding technical matters within their specialized area. Okay, mamaya i-discuss pa natin. Okay, so brief context when it comes to quasi-judicial agencies. Pag nabasa niyo po yung quasi-judicial agencies, ibig sabihin hindi po sila kasama sa mga tinatawag nating court. Okay? Dahil po dun sa word na quasi-judicial, they have powers similar to that of a court, but they are not part of the organization of the court in the Philippines, or they are not part of the court of law kung tawagin. Okay, quasi-judicial agencies po. Next, barangay courts is a system of justice administered at the barangay level for the purpose of amicable settling disputes through mediation, conciliation, and arbitration among the family or barangay without resorting to the courts. Isa sa mga sinaunang kultura ng Pilipino, meron tayong balangay or barangay. In this lowest level of our local government unit, we have what we call katarungang pambarangay. Mamaya i-discuss pa natin yan further on. So sabi dito, ang goal din nito is to administer justice, makapagbigay din ng hustisya to some degree, at hindi lahat naman ng kaso is lumadaan sa barangay. Okay? But meron po. The purpose is amicable settling. Ibig po sabihin ng amicable settling is a friendly na pag-aayos ng dispute or ng problema. o ng conflict sa ibang word. Ang mga paraan is mediation, conciliation, and arbitration. No? Iba-iba pa yan, tatlong yan. Okay, moving on. Regular courts. Ito na po yung mga regular courts. Okay, first, when it comes to regular courts, kailangan natin tandaan that the Supreme Court is the highest of the hierarchy. Under the Judiciary Reorganization Act of 1980, otherwise known as Batas Pambansa bilang 129, which is that particular law is already amended, of course. Next, Intermediate Appellate Court. This operates in 10 divisions, each comprising 5 members. This court sits en banc only to exercise administrative, ceremonial, or either non-adjudicatory functions. In the Intermediate Appellate Court, pumapasok din po dyan ang Court of Appeals. Appellate. Mamaya i-explain natin yung word na appeal na yan, kung saan nanggaling yung word na appellate naman. Next, regional trial courts, one which is presided by 720 regional trial judges in each of the 13 regions of the country. So, isa po sa regional trial courts is yung nasa NCR, and then 13 regional trial courts pa po all throughout the different regions of the Philippines. Next, metropolitan trial courts. In each metropolitan area established by law, an area municipal trial court in every city not forming a part of metropolitan area, and each of the municipalities not comprised within the metropolitan area. So padaliin lang po natin to. So meron pong mga area dito sa atin sa Pilipinas na ang tawag is metropolitan area. Katulad ng Metro Manila. Pag sinabi pong Metro Manila, hindi lang po isang city ang kasama dito. Ngayon, doon sa lahat ng mga miyembro ng metropolitan na tinatawag, Manila, Caloocan, Pasay, Makati, lahat ng mga yon na nakapaloob sa metropolitan area na yon, meron silang tinatawag na METC or Metropolitan Trial Court. Paglabas naman doon sa metropolitan area, meron pa po tayong mga city and municipalities all throughout the different regions ng Pilipinas. Bawat city, meron naman pong municipal trial court. Okay? Kapag may mga munisipyo naman po na na-achieve na yung mga required na or by law, it is stated na ang ilalagay dun sa municipality na yon is municipal trial court din, no? Magkakaroon din po ng municipal trial court each of the municipalities na hindi kasama sa metropolitan at hindi rin po city, no, municipality pa lang. Baka magtanong, bakit municipal kahit sa city, bakit walang city trial court? It is created through law na municipal trial court ang tawag at hindi city trial court. You have problem with that? Problemahin mo lang. Next, Municipal Circuit Trial Court. In each area defined as a municipal circuit comprising of one or more cities and or one or more municipalities grouped together according to law. So there are some areas po na meron pong more than one cities or municipality, or sometimes may city and then may municipality, na pinag-isa lang po sila or they are considered or a circuit or municipal circuit. At doon sa dalawang area na yon or more than, no, pwedeng may isa lang na trial court na ang tawag naman po is Municipal Circuit Trial Court. Yun naman po yung mga yon. So, meron po tayong Supreme Court, meron tayong Appellate Court or Intermediate Appellate Court, may RTC tayo, Regional Trial Court, may MTC o METC muna, Metropolitan Trial Court, at meron din tayong MTC, Municipal Trial Court, at meron tayong MCTC, Municipal Circuit Trial Court. Moving on. Ito naman po ang mga special court. Court of Tax Appeal, Republic Act number 1125 as amended. This special court has exclusive appellate jurisdiction. Tandaan yung mga word na yan, yung tatlong yan. Exclusive appellate jurisdiction to review on appeal the decisions of the Commission of Internal Revenue involving internal revenue taxes and decision of the Commissioner of Customs involving customs duties. Okay, pagdating po sa Court of Tax Appeals, ang pumapasok lang dito, basically, based on the name itself, is with regards to tax. Okay? Pero tandaan yung word na appeal na naman. So, ang unang nagdidesisyon po or ang mas mababa po dito sa Court of Tax Appeal is the Commission of Internal Revenue the Commissioner of Customs. Etong dalawang to, nagbibigay po yan ng desisyon. Meron po silang kapangyarihan magbigay ng desisyon. Okay? Or rather, meron silang quasi-judicial powers. Kapag po hindi sang-ayon o hindi pumayag yung nagbigay ng complaint sa kanila, hindi sila satisfied sa naging desisyon netong Commission of Internal Revenue or Commissioner of Customs, pwede po silang mag-apila sa Court of Tax Appeals na po. Okay? Mamaya, again, lilinawin pa yan natin further on. And also, we have the Sandigan Bayan. Ito, by now, siguro marami nang nakakarinig nito. The PD 1606, its rank is equivalent to Court of Appeals, consists of 14 Associate Justice and 1 Presiding Judge, Ombudsman of the Philippines. Ito po ang mga saklaw ng Sandigan Bayan or the scope of the Sandigan Bayan. It is responsible for investigating and prosecuting Philippine government officials accused of crimes. Okay? When it comes to Philippine government officials na mayroon pong kaso, Sandigan Bayan. Okay? Independently monitors all 3 branches of the government. So, Sandigan Bayan din po ang nagmo-monitor sa 3 branches ng government that I have stated kanina, which is the judiciary, legislative, and executive branch of the government. Receives complaints from citizens and organizations from the country. Ano pa? Prosecutes officials. Next. Prosecute officials accused of graft and corruption. Yan. Isa sa main na binabantayan when it comes to violations is the law against graft and corruption. Si Sandigan Bayan po yan, automatic na pupunta when it comes to violating the graft and corruption law. It also includes the Ombudsman's own office, along with the officer for a team composed of a sheriff, the Ombudsman's second in command, and 6 other deputies who lead their respective divisions and or bureaus. The Ombudsman is appointed by the President of the Philippines from a list submitted by the Judicial and Bar Council for a 7-year term with no reappointment. The Ombudsman can be impeached. Okay? So basically, the Ombudsman position is appointed by the President. Ibig sabihin, Presidente po ang nagdesisyon kung sino ang ma-appoint as Ombudsman. At ang termino niya kapag naging Ombudsman siya ay 7 years. Ibig sabihin naman po ng no reappointment kapag naging Ombudsman ka na, hindi ka na pwedeng makaulit as Ombudsman. And pagdating naman po, the Ombudsman can be impeached. Ibig sabihin kapag may nagawa kang kamalian o may nagawa kang crime, pwede ka pong i-impeach. Paitanggalin sa iyong posisyon. Next, quasi-judicial agencies. Here are the examples of quasi-judicial agencies. Example pa lang po, marami pa pong ibang may quasi-judicial powers na agencies. Okay? Number 1, the National Labor Relations Commission, NLRC. The NLRC is a quasi-judicial body under the Department of Labor and Employment. So, DOLE. Okay. It has exclusive appellate jurisdiction over labor and employment disputes decided by labor arbiters. It resolves cases involving illegal dismissal, labor standards violations, money claims. Okay, when it comes to labor and employment, si NLRC po ang nagiging affiliate, mayroon na affiliate jurisdiction. Next, the Employee Compensation Commission, the ECC. Quasi-judicial agency naman po na nagpo-formulate ng policies and decides on appeals on employment compensation claims. Okay? Yung mga hindi naman po when it comes to bias na pagpapasahod, compensation. Ang nag-handle naman po ng cases with regards to this is the ECC. Meron silang quasi-judicial power. Pwede silang mag-conduct ng hearing. Basta dun lang sa specified na topic na yon. Ano pa? CSC. Yes, the Civil Service Commission. Meron din po siyang quasi-judicial powers at administrative disciplinary cases involving civil servants. Yung mga civil servants, may karapatan din po si CSC na mag-conduct ng mga hearing, lalo na kapag may nakagawa ng misconduct, inefficiency, dishonesty. Yan, pwede pong masuspend, matanggal yung kanilang eligibility, no? Yung mga ganun pong klaseng decision, kaya pong gawin yan ng CSC. At ganun din po ang trabaho ni PRC naman. With regards to professionals, kapag may lisensya na matatanggal, katulad ng pagiging criminologist or registered criminologist, may nagawa kang malpractice, misconduct, violation of ethics, professional ethics code, si PRC po ang magkakandak ng hearing or pwedeng magkandak ng hearing, makareceive ng complaint with regards to your professional license. At pwedeng ma-revoke yung license mo, pwedeng masuspend, no? Same din kay CSC. Yun po ang ilan sa mga kapangyarihan nito. Next, the barangay courts. No, ito na. The barangay court system, formerly known as the Katarungan Pambarangay, is a community-based dispute resolution mechanism established under the 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991. Hindi ito regular na court, pero yun nga, meron din siyang quasi-judicial system. Ang purpose, masettle ang mga dispute, ang mga problema, conflict, at the barangay level. Ito pong barangay court, kung hindi po kayo masyadong well-versed, ang malaki ang bagay ng barangay courts kasi yun nga yung mga kaso na dumadaan sa barangay courts, yung mga pwedeng dumaan sa mga barangay courts, is nakakabawas sa pag-clog ng mga cases when it comes to the court and the prosecution. No? Ang goal nito is makatulong sa pagbabawas at bilis na pagbibigay ng hustisya sa mga kaso, no, na pwede nilang nasakop pa ng kanilang kapangyarihan ng barangay court. Okay? Kapag hindi po nakayanan ng barangay level, nagbibigay po sila ng certificate to file action, tsaka po inaakyat sa prosecutor and sa court yung mga kaso. No, certain cases of course. Pero yung mga kaya naman pong resolbahin at the barangay level, tinatry po ng barangay na i-resolve yan. No? Important nga po dito sa barangay level or sa barangay courts, di Katarungan Pambarangay, is yung kakayahan ng mga opisyal na makapag-settle ng mga problema. So, importante rin po yan bukod sa kakilala nyo lang si chairman o kaya si kagawad. Kasi may malaki po silang role na ayusin yung mga problema na mag-arise within the barangay or within their jurisdiction. Okay? The barangay court is headed by the punong barangay. Kaya kaimportante si kapitan. With the assistance of the lupon tagapamayapa. Itong lupon tagapamayapa. Kasama po yan sa barangay court. Isa rin po yan sa pwedeng mag-handle mismo ng pagre-resolba ng mga kaso within the barangay level. It primarily handles minor civil disputes and certain light criminal cases between residents. Its main purpose is to promote amicable settlement and decongest formal courts by requiring parties to undergo barangay conciliation before filing cases in court as a general rule. Yung mga ibang mga civil disputes po, ang katulad ng mga civil disputes or civil cases is yung away ng mag-asawa with regards to the custody of the child or the properties, ganyan, or assets. And yung certain light criminal cases naman po, yung mga cases na less than 1 year ang imprisonment at meron din pong level or certain fine na pwedeng sakop pa ng barangay court o ng katarungan pambarangay. Doon naman po tayo sa level of hierarchy of the court, no? The first level courts, dito po papasok si METC, si MTC at si MCTC. Courts of the first level layer. Courts of the first level are essentially trial courts. They try and decide only particular types or classes of cases specified by law. So first level courts po yung mga yan. Okay? At meron lamang po silang certain na mga kaso na pwede rin pong hawakan. O, mamaya ibibigay po natin yan. Kung ano po bang mga kaso sa MTC, sir, kaysa sa RTC. Mamaya ibibigay po natin ang details. Second level courts, RTC. The Philippines is divided into 13 regions. Ayan, NCR and 12 other. From Region 1 in the north and Region 12 in Mindanao. In each region, there is a RTC composed of several branches. So may RTC, hindi lang yan isa, meron pong ibang branches pa yung RTC na nag-handle ng mga cases na pasok sa jurisdiction ng RTC. Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals, it is essentially an appellate court reviewing cases appealed to it from regional trial courts. It may review questions of fact or mixed questions of fact of law. Okay. Kapag nag-appeal po from the RTC, sige, tapusin muna natin to. So, Supreme Court, the highest court of the land. It is a review court. It is the court of the last resort, for no appeal lies from its judgment and final orders. In the context of the integrated judicial system depicted in the diagram, it exercises appellate jurisdiction over cases decided by the Court of Appeals or Regional Trial Court. As a rule, only questions of law may be raised as appeal. Okay, so etong hierarchy of courts para malaman po natin kung paano mangyayari sa kaso natin. Halimbawa, na nagkaroon ka ng kaso, pasok sa jurisdiction ng first level court, MTC. Sabi you are guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Pag nag-try ka po mag-appeal, aakyat mo muna yan sa RTC. Pagdating sa RTC, sabi pa rin, guilty beyond reasonable doubts. Hindi mo pa rin matanggap. Pwede ka pa rin po mag-appeal, pupunta naman po sa Court of Appeals. Pagdating sa Court of Appeals, i-reviewin lang po niya yung desisyon ni RTC at ni MTC. I-check yung mga facts ng law, kung tama ba yung pagkaka-implement, ng pagkaka-interpret ng law, kung tama ba yung pagkaka-interpret sa ginawa mo, o kaya kung na-interpret na at may judgment, tama ba yung judgment na binigay sa iyo, so therefore pwede pong bumigat pa ng konti ang sentensya mo, pwedeng mabawasan ang sentensya mo, ayan ang mga possibilities diyan, no? And kapag hindi ka pa rin po kontento kay Court of Appeals, mag-aapila ka pa na naman, kay Supreme Court na po yan mapupunta. Okay? Pero yun nga, as a rule, only questions of law may be raised as appeal. So kung meron lang po talagang question when it comes to the law, tsaka lang po tataas yan sa Supreme Court at magbibigay siya ng final decision. Pagdating po kasi kay Supreme Court, that is final na po judgment. It means wala ka nang magagawang appeal. That is your final and last level sa pag-appeal. Supreme Court, final judgment na po yan. Okay, ito naman po ang meaning ng jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is the authority to hear and the right to act in a case. It is the power of the judge to administer justice, that is, to try and decide the case in accordance with the law. Sinabi pong jurisdiction, merong authority na mag-conduct ng hearing, may karapatan ang court na umakto sa isang particular na kaso. Okay? Jurisdiction. Basically, meron silang karapatan at kapangyarihan para sa kaso na yan. Ngayon, meron naman pong mga level na wala silang karapatan. No? Halimbawa, sinabi mo yung kaso mo, sabihin natin homicide. Tapos na-try mo sanang magsampa ng kaso sa MTC. Sasabihin ng MTC, wala po yan sa jurisdiction namin. Ang mga sentensya ng homicide is beyond 6 years. Therefore, magpo-fall po yan sa jurisdiction ni RTC. Ganun po ang jurisdiction. Wala na po sa kanila ang kapangyarihan na mag-decide yan sa case na yan. Sabi sa batas, kaya dun sa next naman po. Okay? Sa ibang court. Ano ba mga elements of jurisdiction? The following are the elements of jurisdiction. Number 1, jurisdiction over the territory. Okay, first question, kung saan ba nangyari ang kaso? Okay? Kung yung kaso na yan nangyari sa Legazpi City, ang court na maghahawak yan, Legazpi Court. Okay? Basically, ganun lang po yan. Territorial or geographical jurisdiction. Okay? It is the authority of the court to exercise judicial power within a dignified geographic area. So sabi nga natin, regional and MTC, no, municipal trial courts, meron lamang po silang area na nasasakupan. Kung yung kaso beyond sa area nila or nangyari sa ibang lugar, hindi ka po pwedeng mamili ng court na pabor sa'yo or mas malapit o convenient kung hindi naman doon nangyari yung krimen or wala naman sa kanilang teritoryo. Next, jurisdiction of their subject matter. Jurisdiction over subject matter refers to a court's power to hear and resolve a particular category of cases as conferred by the Constitution or by statute. It is determined by examining the allegations in the complaint or initiatory pleading and the governing law. Sabi nga po natin the subject matter. Okay, halimbawa nito, ang kinasuhan public official or government public official, very specific. Anong court ang pwedeng maghawak nito? Mapupunta po to sa special court sa Sandigan Bayan. Kasi meron po silang exclusive na jurisdiction when it comes to government public officials, ang Sandigan Bayan. Or the subject matter na ang kaso is that crime that is committed by a public official. Okay, yun po yung example ng jurisdiction over the subject matter. Doon naman po tayo sa jurisdiction over the person or personal jurisdiction. Jurisdiction over the person is the power of the court to make decision binding on the parties to the case. This is typically acquired by voluntary appearance or submission to the court or service of summons for the defendant or respondent. Pag meron yung court, pag meron yung certain court ang jurisdiction over the person, no, sila yung nagbigay ng summons pagdating sa defendant or respondent. Sila po ang nagkakaroon ng jurisdiction over the person na involved dun sa kaso. Yun naman po ang madaling example naman nito ni jurisdiction over the person. So iba-iba pa po yung classification ng jurisdiction. And here are the following classification of jurisdiction. Number 1, general. All disputes which may come before it except those assigned to other courts. Pag sinabi pong general, halimbawa, generally crimes that has imprisonment of 6 years and below. So lahat ng klase ng kaso, basta ang imprisonment nila below 6 years ay pasok sa MTC, the Municipal Trial Court. So generally, kahit anong case, mapa-robbery o malicious mischief, yung mga ganong klaseng iba-ibang krimen pero may binabantayan pa rin yung imprisonment. Pag sinabi naman pong limited, meron lamang pong mga specific cases na pwedeng i-handle or may jurisdiction ang isang court. Katulad nga ng Sandigan Bayan. So hindi porket halimbawa malapit si Sandigan Bayan, may nangyaring homicide, gusto mo magsampa ng kaso sa Sandigan Bayan, hindi pwede. Kasi limited lang ang jurisdiction niya at ang limitation po nito is dapat mga government official lang at merong relation sa graft and corruption na violation. Next, original. Carry and decide the case presented for the first time. Kung saan mo po unang sinampa ang kaso, yan ang magkakaroon, yan ang korte na yan ang magkakaroon ng original jurisdiction over sa kaso mo. Yun ang po ang ibig sabihin ng original. Ito na, affiliate. A case already heard and decided by a lower court. Kanina na-discuss natin ang hierarchy of courts. Ngayon, pag sinabing appellate jurisdiction, nagkaroon na po ng hearing at ng trial sa lower court. Of course, the first level court. And then, gusto mo mag-appeal. So, ang merong appellate jurisdiction pagdating doon is the RTC and so on. Kaya kailangan na karoon na po ng hearing at decision from the lower court at kapag nag-try ka mag-appeal, tataas po siya doon sa level of hierarchy of courts. Exclusive, a case which cannot be presented before any court. Ito na. Pag sinabi pong exclusive, kanya ka lang. Loyal ka doon. Okay? Sinabing exclusive. Halimbawa, graft and corruption ng violation, exclusive, automatic kay Sandigan Bayan. Okay? Yan ang mas madali kasing court. Okay? So, yun po ang exclusive. Sa kanya lang yun, hindi mo pwedeng isampa sa ibang court. Next, concurrent. 2 or more courts may take cognizance of the case. Okay? Ang kabaliktaran po ng exclusive na loyal lang, concurrent. No? Pwede pong mag-handle ang 2 or more court. Pero, pag napasa mo na po sa isa, bawal mo nang ilipat sa isa. Stick ka na doon. Okay? Pag sinabing concurrent, mayroong jurisdiction ng mahigit sa isang korte. Pero, pag nasampa mo na ho, ang kaso sa isang korte, hindi mo na ho pwedeng isampa sa iba. Ano yan? More chances of winning? Hindi po pwede yun. Okay? Ang tawag po doon is forum shopping, which makaka-apekto sa kaso mo at pwedeng ma-dismiss ang kaso dahil sa pagpo-forum shopping. Okay? Or pagsampa ng kaso sa more than one court. Next, criminal jurisdiction exists for the punishment of crime. Okay. Yun nga, may mga courts na may, halimbawa yung mga quasi-judicial na agencies, wala po silang, karamihan sa kanila, walang criminal jurisdiction. Ibig sabihin, pag ang na-violate na ay crime, hindi na po sila pwedeng mag-handle ng kaso. Okay? Civil. Civil exists when the subject matter is not of a criminal offense. So, example ng mga civil, yun nga, dispute against the custody of a child, annulment, properties, property disputes, yan, papasok po yan sa mga civil cases. Next, ito naman po yung mga original jurisdiction ng mga court, no? The MTC or the first level court, the MTC, MCTC, and METC, all violation of city and municipal ordinances sa loob ng jurisdiction nila, pasok yan sa MTC at dito sa first level court. Over all offenses punishable with imprisonment not exceeding 6 years, irrespective of the amount of fine. Regardless kung ano ang magiging fine ng kaso, basta ang imprisonment hindi lalagpas ng 6 years. Pasok po yan sa jurisdiction ni MTC, MCTC at METC. At yung mga damage to property through criminal negligence, pumapasok rin po sa original jurisdiction netong first level court. At kung makikita nyo po dito, wala pong appellate jurisdiction ng MTC, MCTC, MTC at METC since sila na yung first level court. Okay, wala nang pwedeng mag-apila sa kanila. Next, the RTC. In all cases not within the exclusive original jurisdiction of any court, tribunal or court, in other words, those which carry the penalties exceeding 6 years of imprisonment, kay RTC na po yan babagsak. Those not covered by jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, yung mga kaso na hindi papasok sa Sandigan Bayan, halimbawa hindi naman graft and corruption ang violate, pwede po yan sa RTC na po diretso, original jurisdiction. Okay? May appellate jurisdiction naman po ang RTC. Ito yung mga judgment pagdating sa first level courts over A and B. Yung A, violation of city and municipal ordinances, at yung mga crimes na may imprisonment na hindi lalagpas ng 6 years. Pwede po yan, halimbawa nag-apila ka from MTC, aakyat po yan ng RTC. So titingnan ni RTC kung tama ba ang naging desisyon at pag-interpret ng laws when it comes to your case, at magdidesisyon din po siya. Yun naman po ang appellate jurisdiction. Next, Sandigan Bayan. all violations of RA 3019. 3019 is the Anti-Graft and Corruption Law. Mga opisyal of executive branch occupying the positions of the regional director and higher. Lahat po yan papasok sa Sandigan Bayan. At yung mga classified na may salary grade ng 27 or higher. Philippine Army or Philippine Air Force colonels, Navy captain, and all officer of higher rank officers of the PNP while occupying the position of the provincial director and those holding the rank of senior superintendent or higher. Lahat po yan papasok sa Sandigan Bayan. Sir, paano kung patrolman pa lang? Ibig sabihin, hindi papasok sa Sandigan Bayan, nag-violate public official. Depende pa kung pagdating sa imprisonment, kung mapupunta ba kay RTC or kay MTC. Okay? Next, the appellate jurisdiction naman po ni Sandigan Bayan, judgment of the RTC over cases committed by public officers under its judicial or original jurisdiction. Next, courts. Court of Appeal, wala po silang original jurisdiction. Ibig sabihin, ang mga kaso lang po na nakakaabot kay Court of Appeals is yung mga nag-apila na galing na sa ibang court or quasi-judicial agency. Kaya meron lamang silang appellate jurisdiction. From the decision or judgment of the RTC on questions of fact or question of law or both. Okay? Yun nga po, tatanungin dyan kung tama ba na yung question of fact is kung natingnan ba ng maayos yung facts when it comes to the case at tama ba yung batas na isinasampa, yun, question of law, or both yun. I-check yun doon sa mga kaso na inaapila sa kanila. And the Supreme Court, of course, lahat naman, no, from the decision of the Sandigan Bayan, the Court of Appeals, yung COA, Court of Appeals po yan, involving questions of laws only. Ayan po ang appellate jurisdiction ng SC or the Supreme Court. Ito naman po ang appeal. Appeal is a statutory right granted to the accused or even the government in proper case to seek remedy before an appellate court for the annulment or reversal of an adverse decision. Ibig sabihin ng annulment or reversal, pwedeng guilty ka pagdating sa RTC, pag-appeal mo kay Court of Appeals or kay tumabot pa ng Supreme Court, nakita ni Supreme Court na hindi ka naman pala guilty, ma-reverse. Ibig sabihin, ma-acquit ka pa. Okay? Or annulment, pagdating sa decision na ginawa sa iyo. It is a proceeding for review by which the whole case is transferred to the higher court for a final determination. Yun nga, diskumpiyado ka desisyon ng mababang korte, iakit mo sa mas mataas. Judge, ito po yung kaso ko, ito po yung desisyon, tama po ba to? Meron po bang hindi po ako sang-ayon sa desisyon niya? Halimbawa, hindi naman po talaga akong gumawa nun, ganon. O, doon mo yan iaapila sa mas mataas na mga korte ayon sa level of hierarchy of courts. An appeal, ito kailangan tandaan, an appeal must be filed within 15 days counted from the promulgation or notice of the judgment or order appealed from. Promulgation, ibig sabihin yung pagbasa na ho ng sentensya. Yung mga nakikita nyo na you are hereby found guilty of robbery committed, ganito, ganyan, ganito, ganyan. Promulgation, sinabi na sa iyo yung sentensya mo. Within 15 days, dapat, kung gusto mo mag-apila, kailangan mo mag-appeal within 15 days. Kapag 20 days nang nakalipas at hindi ka pa nag-aapila, final na ang desisyon at kung ano man ang sentensya, yon ang kailangan mong pagbayaran. Napupunta ka na sa correction component or pillar. And yun lamang po sa ngayon. Subscribe, stay curious, subscribe, and follow for more.